everyone, my name is Olivia. Thanks for checking out another one of my videos. I'm a homeschool mom of two. I have a 9-year-old son and I also have a 5-year-old daughter. Today, I thought it might be fun to share with you guys some of my favorites from Amazon that we truly use in our homeschool space every single day, or at least regularly. Some of the things just make our routine easier. Some of them are storage situations, some of them are display things. So anyway, I thought I'd share some things that are probably easily accessible. I have not checked the links before making this video to see if they're still available on Amazon. If they're not, I will try to find something similar. So if you're interested in checking anything out, I have it linked for you. I do want to say, I know I've been promising the Michael Clay Thompson flip through, dive in, lesson sort of thing. Like, how would I put it together for a lesson? What does a lesson look like for us? Also, if you guys wanted a deeper look into the Michael Clay Thompson curriculum, I know a couple people have asked for that. So that is next on my list. This has been our spring break because my husband had some vacation time to take. He took it over this time. So we have just been doing family time. I have not had an opportunity to record a lesson. So as soon as we start up school again, I will do that and put together a video and share it on here. I have a handful of things to show you guys, so I'm just gonna hop right in. All right, so what I have here is an individual whiteboard. I know this seems like a little thing, but I have to just say, so this comes in a pack of 6. It's double-sided, and we use these in all sorts of ways for writing on. When I'm doing math with my son, he doesn't always want to write into a notebook. Sometimes when we're just kind of reviewing or practicing and it's not an assessment type assignment that I want to hold on to, he'll write it on here. And it's easier than having just a ton of scrap paper or a ton of line paper or taking up room in a notebook for just practice. I'm not trying to dismiss anybody that does that, but this is just so easy for us. And we have lots of different markers, and it's easy for him to write something down, erase it. It's easy to erase and doesn't leave anything, and it's just quick if you're doing work. Also, my daughter draws on these all of the time. If we're doing a read aloud, if I'm explaining or doing something with my son and she just needs to be occupied for a couple minutes, or if she's like, these are her numbers. A lot of them are backwards because we haven't gotten to how to draw the numbers yet. If I'm doing math with my son, oftentimes she wants to do math too, and she pulls out one of these and she just writes stuff down and kind of follows along. Or she will draw pictures on here to preoccupy her. They come in handy all of the time for everything. Like I said, they come in a pack of 6, and they're like a great size to just store away somewhere, and they're super thin, so you could stack them up or lay them down. They won't take up a whole bunch of room. You know, it's like as big as a book. So anyway, love these. All right, the next item is this giant whiteboard. So before we had the mini whiteboards, this was the first thing that I got our first year of homeschooling. I can't do chalk. So I know a lot of people have those really beautiful chalkboards and it's got the tracing things on it, or it's a sensory thing. It freaks me out, okay? So I knew I had to get whiteboards. So I got this, and it's really awesome for a couple reasons. First of all, it's double-sided. So there's also some things written on the back, and it's really light, so it's easy to kind of pick up and flip if we need to do something instead of it being stuck on the board and then you have to write. You know, it's just nice to have something that moves around. Also, I'm not going to show you because it's loud and it takes time, but what it also does is it's got legs that are in this V, and you can loosen the sides, and the whiteboard goes from this and it flips like this, and then it's only like 3 feet high. So if you don't have a whole lot of space to store a standing whiteboard, you can keep it tabletop size, which I think is so fantastic. And then the sides unlock again and loosen, and you can fold the legs up. So it becomes more compact. And I think that that is so convenient and nice. if you have any sort of a tight space. Also, it did come with this little fabric caddy that went between the legs at the bottom to store markers or an eraser, and that just didn't work for us because of how often we used it, but it was nice if it's something that you don't have another space to hold those kind of things. It came with it. Next, I wanted to share these blackboards. We've got a couple of them here. They are magnetic. Yes, this is for chalk. This is like chalk marker, blackboard marker. I switch these up all of the time. Right now it has our nature study stuff on it. I pull these off and I draw on it for the kids' birthdays. It's awesome and so handy to stick things up on here because of it being magnetic. So it's great for display and it looks nice and it holds on to marker really nice also. So these blackboards, I've had both of them for the few years we've been homeschooling, and excuse my drawings. I'm like actually looking at these now that I'm putting them on the internet. Anyway, it's been really nice to have them because they're so easy to switch up and a lot of things fit on them. They're just usable in so many ways. If you don't have a whole lot of room for display for your homeschool space, this is a nice erasable option, switchable option, and it looks nice. I think it looks, the way it's framed, it's pretty. So anyway, having these mini, not quite mini, but it's not a whole wall size blackboard, I've really liked this. The next item I want to share with you guys are these clear pocket folder type things. I use these in our homeschool in so many ways. One thing that I do is for my son's literature guides or comprehension guides, whatever you want to call them, I do scan the pages so he doesn't write in the book because I'm holding on to it in case those books serve my daughter when she gets older as well for school. So that way I don't have to purchase another one. I scan them and then I just stuff them in these folders every day. And at the end of our book period time for that book, I just took them out and put either a paper clip or an alligator clip or something like that on it and I store it. But these are nice in this way. This is one. I also made copies of our nature study curriculum, and when it calls for it in our science curriculum with Blossom and Root or our nature study guide, there's lots of scavenger hunts. So I make a copy and I stick it in here, and this way I also don't have to use up a copy for the next time we teach this and bring this lesson out. And the kids can just take a erasable marker with them. And we live in Washington State. Things are dewy, things are wet, things are muddy, things are dirty. I'm sure that stands for lots and lots of places and not just Washington State, but I love taking these. It does have a little marker situation holder thing here. It's back. You can put things in frontwards or backwards. So you're able to utilize this without actually writing on the paper. So it's good as storage, it's good to draw on, it's good for if you have worksheets, and again, you want to be able to reuse those worksheets again, but you still want your kids to work on them, and it's not something that you want to hold on to like an assessment type thing. These work great for that. I also have in one of these, each of the kids has like a passage from the Bible that we are memorizing, and they stay in here, and sometimes they get highlighted, sometimes not. So anyway, I have a pack of, right now I have 5. I thought there was a yellow one, and I don't know if there ever was a yellow one and I just imagined that, or if the yellow one is missing. But it either comes in a pack of 5 or 6. I will link them down below. I know some people have found these things at like their Dollar Tree or their dollar store. I have never found these there. These are more expensive than finding them at the dollar store, so I would definitely check there first if you have accessibility to one. If you want to save a little bit of money, it also has a little grommet here with a hole so that if you want to, link a few of them together.
I don't know what else you'd use the clip for. Maybe to secure it in a binder somehow, some way?
it has that on there though, if that's something that you utilize and you use. So anyway, we use these all the time, every week in some form or situation. We use these clear pocket folders. One other item I'd love to show you guys are these. They're from Germany, these Furby Graphite Lyra pencils. They are like these wide rounded triangle, I don't know if that's going to focus. These large rounded triangle pencils are great for young hands and fingers that are just learning to write and doing pencil grips, and they're a perfect size. They're not too long where it's kind of wonky. They look big, but they are big, but they're not super heavy. And we use these all of the time. My daughter uses these all the time. This is what she writes, but she also would just grab her brother's pencils too. But if I'm doing a lesson and I'm bringing out materials, these are the ones I grab. I can't remember how many are in the pack. I have 4 here. It might be 5 or 6. They last forever. I haven't had to sharpen any of them. I mean, we just kind of rotate through them. We never grab the same one twice, but these are so nice and they fit great in her hand and they're not too small and skinny. I like the triangle shape on it. It's not completely rounded. It gives her a place to lay her finger and hold on into, like, your fingers literally hit each of these flat sides. So these have been really fantastic for little learners. And I'm sure, I mean, they're graphite pencils. So when she grows out of these, we'll use them in all sorts of different ways as well, but they've lasted forever. My pencil sharpener does not have a size for this, and so we haven't had to sharpen it, thank goodness, but you do have to have a special pencil sharpener, and they actually sell a little individual pencil sharpener for these on Amazon. I will link it. I don't have it myself, so I don't know how well it works, but I shared this in another video of how I store our Logic of English materials, our phonics curriculum for my daughter. And it's just this giant, I think it's called an art box, a photo box. My goodness, you'd think after that last video that I would remember what it was supposed to be called, but I don't. I will link it down below. You could use this in so many different ways. It comes with these dividers. So anything that you need this size box for, that you need little dividers, there's lots of them in here. So there's lots of ways that you could utilize this. I like that I can see in it. It's a sturdy box. It holds lots and lots of stuff. And there's lots of ways that you could use this around for different art supplies, maybe vocabulary words, all sorts of things, pictures. You could put your little garden seed packets in there. Lots of options for this little container, and I thought I'd share it. I will take a picture of it and share it, but I use these little labels that come on this roll for sight words for my daughter, and they are already stickers, and so I had thought that we were in the clear or whatever, but we have textured walls, not super bumpy walls, not like popcorn ceiling status, but enough where they were falling off. So I got these little poster putty stickies, and you just rip off a little square and kind of warm it up in your hand and stick it on the wall, and it makes things stick great. So I will link both of these, but these are so fun, and I feel like you could use labels like this in so many different ways. It comes in a couple different shapes on the roll. They're not all the exact same shape. We use them for sight words, but I can imagine that super creative people can find all sorts of different ways to use it. I have seen really cool ways of putting sight words up, if you use sight words at all, you know, on index cards across the wall or what have you. But when they're little and you pull things out all of the time, I like to just have things displayed if we can find the room. So I liked being able to do this. She sees them all the time, not just when we're doing vocabulary. And our homeschool space is our dining space as well. We don't have a separate homeschool room or homeschool space, and so they're out a lot and she's exposed to them a lot. So anyway, these have been great. If you have textured walls, the poster putty is also great. I haven't tried to peel it off the wall. I'm assuming that it comes away clean. It's not like a command strip, but don't hold me accountable for that. Anyway, I'll list them both down below. So my next item has been shared a lot, and rightly so, because they're really fantastic to use in so many different ways. But I have And I have a couple more colors for different things. The SchoolNest Notebooks from SchoolNest. She has an Instagram page, it's SchoolNest. These are on Amazon. She has them listed on Amazon. I will link some of the notebooks that I have used down below. I will also link her website. So this is the kindergarten notebook. I thought maybe we'd be writing in here for my daughter, but we just aren't yet. I'm holding on to it because we will be. But here's an example of the kindergarten page. So it has the super wide rule right here, a place for a picture, the dot grid on one side, a place for the date. These come in so many colors. I can't remember all of the colors. She also has a couple planners listed. So the planners are also undated, I believe. And so you can really customize them to work for you. This is the 3rd grade notebook. So this is what the lines look like in this one. I would consider it wide ruled, like if you're gonna get a wide ruled notebook, and it's got the dot grid on here. I don't know if that is coming through with the lighting, but this is dot grid. Here's a place for the date. The way we use it is my son will brainstorm on one side and then write on the other. So here's some brainstorming of his on the dot grid side, and then he completes his work on the next side. This is a math notebook. This is the mathematics 1/2-inch graph. This is absolutely what I would suggest if you have a kiddo that's doing any sort of long division or multiplication or something like that. I also, let me just grab it. When I very first ordered, I just grabbed this. I didn't realize that there was different sizes. So this is the primary mathematics notebook. Each one of these different types of notebooks comes in like all the colors that she has, that she offers. You're gonna have to check them out on her website. They're so pretty. This is the 3/4 inch graph paper, and I could see this being totally helpful for younger students who are doing any math work, 1st, 2nd, I guess 3rd. I think 3rd is when you're doing the long division and multiplication. So, or just use whichever one works for you guys. Obviously, it's just grid paper. Grid paper is helpful no matter what, but this one is quite a bit larger. Is this gonna work? We'll see. So this is the size difference. The one on the top is the bigger one, the one on the bottom is the smaller grid. Anyway, these are so nice. The way they're binded is also nice, and I know I have seen people cut off that binding and then bring it someplace that puts it on a spiral. I guess that's an option. I didn't even think about that. I love spiral bindings too, but these bindings are nice and tight. This is the history timeline notebook. I'm sure that you guys have seen this before. Like I said before, rightly so, because they are just so, there's just so much space and so much room for customization. A lot of times, timeline notebooks are just super, super tight. This is my son writing and drawing for a couple different things. She has it separated from prehistory, ancient times, Middle Ages, early modern, and modern times. So anyway, there's lots and lots of space in here. This is so fun. Totally check out SchoolNest Notebooks. She's got other notebooks too for other things. I know she's got a vocabulary notebook, different composition notebooks, project things. Anyway, check out her site and what she offers on Amazon. I love these. So the other products I want to mention are not ones that I can show you right here or hold in my hand. I will insert a picture or a mini clip. The Homeschool Cart. The Homeschool Cart, first of all, let me just say, when we were very first starting homeschool a few years ago, we, like I mentioned earlier, do not have a homeschool room. I don't have an extra room or a nook or any other sort of space. I use my dining area, and we have an open concept house, and so you can see the dining area from the doorway, the living room, the kitchen, the hallway. So I needed something that was going to hold a lot of stuff that I could utilize in a lot of different ways, and also something that I could shove up and would not take up a whole lot of space. So the Homeschool Cart, when I was looking for something, I didn't even realize the Homeschool Cart was a thing for homeschool. My mom used to be a hairstylist back in the day, and we had like a caddy this sort of way in our bathroom for all of our beauty stuff for a really long time. And so I had gone on and looked at Beauty Caddy because in my head that's what I thought it was. And then I saw people in the pictures using it for art supplies. I was like, oh, an art caddy. Okay, well, I can find a way to make that work. So I made it work for our homeschool space, and I just have some magazine holders, I think what they're called. That's where I just put all of our books so they don't slide and slip and lay on each other, and I have them in there. They fit perfectly. I'll link those too, actually. They come in gold, silver, and rose gold. Anyway, the homeschool carts are fantastic. The ones that I have and that we use have little baskets on the sides too that you can pick up and move wherever it needs to fit for you, and that's perfect for all of the little bits and things that we use for materials. So the homeschool cart, and once I actually started following and looking up things on Instagram for homeschool, I realized everyone had a homeschool cart. And I've heard some people roll their eyes at it, but I'm like, if someone's sharing something or someone has something and it works for them, why are we making that seem silly? So anyway, the homeschool cart, I will list the one that I have in our home. We've got 2 of them. I will link them for you down below. Next, the next item I want to show you are these wire picture holders that we display our art for in our house. We don't have a ton of wall space, so I don't have a whole lot of wall space in our homeschool area to display a lot of things. So I got what it is there's these blocks, and they're just plain pine wood. I don't know what they're actually made out of, but it looks like pine, and it's real wood. You can stain it or paint it, whatever, and it holds up this really thin wire in the middle. It comes with little mini paper clips. Is that what they're called? Paper clips? No. Little mini clothespins. I've needed to sense buy more than what it came with. It does come with a handful. I'm looking up here because there's one up here, but it's this really thin wire, and it's a pretty good size and space. And I just have photos hanging from here. They're really easy to interchange that way, and I don't get push pin holes put in them or anything like that. And they worked so well here. I had taken one down and bought a couple more and put them up in our hallway as well. The kids, I'm sure your kids love too, displaying all the things. And your fridge only has so much space, and my walls only have so much space. So this has been a really good way to display things, but also rotate them out really easily. All right, I think I wrapped up all of the things that I wanted to mention. Amazon's a big place, and there's lots of things to buy on there. I'm sure there's other things. I mean, I know that there's other things that we have also purchased from Amazon, but they just weren't the first things that came to my mind where I thought, man, we really enjoy these, or these make things easier for us, or we use them all the time, that sort of thing. And those were the items that I wanted to share on here with you guys. Probably a lot of you have what I'm sharing, but if any of these things are new to you, I will, like I said, post the links for them down below, so click on them and check them out. If I cannot find the exact thing that I mentioned, I'm so sorry I mentioned it, and I did not check prior to this to see if there was anything that was out of stock or not available on Amazon anymore. And so I'm sorry about that. I will try to search for something similar that I myself would buy and post it down below instead. So guys, I hope some of those things were new or fun or interesting to you. If you have comments about anything or how I use them, or I didn't give a close enough look about how they worked, I can describe it in a comment down below. So just leave something like that down below. If you enjoyed this video or want to see anything else specifically, let me know in the comments down below too. I would love to put something like that together for you as well. Okay guys, I'll see you guys next time in the next video.